Welcome back. This is NetLab 7, creating and managing vCenter server inventory. I'm Richard Golson, and I'm going to walk you through creating a data center object that is task 1. So you see I've already logged on to the vCenter vSphere client, and you can see here my vCenter right here. And you see within this vCenter we have an environment already created for us that we've been working with. And so here's the existing data center. In this task, I'm going to create a new data center. vSphere and vCenter server are really handy in that I can host multiple data centers in the same environment. And this would allow me to separate out, say, my test bed, placing it in its own data center from my production workload in its data center. And I can do this on the same vCenter servers. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and select the vCenter node. That is in fact what that is, even though it shows an IP address. That is the IP address of the vCenter. In production, you'd probably see the name, but they didn't set up the labs this way. Let me come over to this side here and I'll scroll to the appropriate page. We're going to jump past all that. And you're going to see that we can very easily, from the navigator pane under the hosting clusters, go ahead, select that environment, and then select new data center. So I'll right click on it. There's my new data center. And within this, I'll go ahead and change the name on this. And I think we're calling this one here Lab Data Center. Pretty good name for this. And again, we're placing it on the same vCenter server. I'll go ahead and hit the OK. Now that I've created that, let me go ahead and change. So let's compare these two data centers. So you can see the existing data center that we had 2 hosts, 6 virtual machines, a cluster, a network, and 6 data stores. So a fairly reasonable amount of resources just for a lab. You can see here's our CPU and memory and storage, both free and in use. If I click on the lab data center, first thing you should notice is that we have no resources and we have no objects. So this is, even though it's a data center, it currently doesn't have anything. And so that's what we're going to be doing in the next lab, is adding some resources, an ESXi host, to provide those resources for the virtual machines. So I'll see you in a few minutes when we come back to the next lab.